I'm sure we all know NIKI LAUDA, the motor racing legend who won the Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship in 1975, 1977 and 1984. And I would like to dedicate this video to NIKI himself because his death was only just over a year ago, so rest in peace, you legend. But cars weren't the only engine-powered activity that Lauda enjoyed. This is the story of when NIKI LAUDA created an airline. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Sir Meerkat, and welcome back to the Moto Meerkat channel. Quickly, before I explain to you the story of Lauda Air, I want to thank @Jack_Dropo_Toro on Instagram. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you so much, mate, for suggesting this idea to me and helping me out with some of the research. And if you have any ideas for future videos that I could possibly do, then let me know on my Instagram and my Twitter. Links to both are down in the description. And let me know in the poll somewhere above whether you like my new profile picture or not. I think it looks really sweet, so thank you to Little Art for doing that for me. But without further ado, let's get on exploring that time NIKI LAUDA made an airline. Lauda Air was established as a company in April of 1979, when they would begin as a charter airline. Now, for all of you out there that are not knowledgeable about planes, kind of like myself, a charter airline is one that runs unscheduled flights with their own determined departure and arrival times and locations with rented aircrafts. As the company's head offices were in Vienna in Austria, obviously because that's where NIKI LAUDA is from, this is where they would base their air travel from. Lauda himself would actually start flying passengers between Germany and Austria with two small Fokker F-27 turboprop airliners. And this was because Lauda actually did have his own commercial flying license, so fair play to him. But the company were eventually leased some back 111 Series 500 planes from the Romanian airline Tarom. But the young airline quickly accumulated a mountain of debt, prompting Lauda to mortgage his house and return to the racetrack. This is where he would go on to win the 1984 World Drivers' Championship with McLaren in the absolutely stunning MP4/2. He would then retire from racing for a second time, and Lauda Air would become a fully fledged airline company. For this, the fleet of planes were upgraded with two Boeing 737s. And to fund these upgrades, Lauda forged a partnership with Greek financier Basil Varoufakis. Interesting, I hope the pronunciation was okay on that. And he was the owner of the ITAS travel agency. Lauda felt that although price was an important factor, as it is to all of us, his airline should be top quality with friendly cabin crews, good food and a clean aircraft to differentiate them from other similar carriers. And "Our service is our success" became the company's motto, as shown in this extremely cringy advert from the 1990s. Check it out.
Who has the best connections to Eastern Europe?
Who?
Who offers a first-class service in business class?
Who?
Fly Lauda. Service is our success.
I'm so glad we don't have adverts like that today, oh my goodness. But after the upgrades to the airline, scheduled operations were licensed and initialized in 1987, with the airline also obtaining licenses for international flights in 1989. The company's first long-haul flights would be from Vienna to Sydney or Vienna to Melbourne via Bangkok, and daily flights from Vienna to Dubai, Vienna to Cuba, and Vienna to Miami would soon follow. As investment increased, Lauda Air Executive was formed with the help of three jets: a Cessna Citation, a Bombardier Learjet 60, and a Dassault Falcon 20 that could seat between 7 and 12 passengers each for a highly luxurious flight experience. And a cargo department was also started in 1990. But 1991 actually saw the company's first major setback. Lauda Air Flight 004 was a regularly scheduled international passenger flight between Bangkok in Thailand and Vienna in Austria, a popular route for the airline as I mentioned earlier. However, the flight would never arrive at its destination. At 11:17 p.m. on the 26th of May 1991, the number 1 engine deployed its thrust reverser mid-flight without being commanded to do so by either Captain Tom Welch or First Officer Joseph Turner. Turner's last recorded words were, "Oh, reversers deployed." Just after Turner said this, the cockpit voice recorder recorded a shuddering sound, followed by a metallic snap. Lift on the aircraft's left side was disrupted due to the reverser deployment, and the aircraft immediately began diving into a left turn. The CVR recorded a second metallic snapping sound, followed by various alarms, and Welch's last recorded words, which were, "Jesus Christ," followed by "here, wait a minute," and then "damn it." Following this, the CVR recorded an increase in background noise, followed by several loud bangs, and then it stopped recording. The aircraft went into a diving speed of Mach 0.99 and may have even broken the sound barrier at one point. The aircraft broke up in mid-air at 4,000 feet, scattering pieces of aircraft over a 1 square kilometre area of dense woodland in Thailand, killing all 213 passengers and 10 crew that were on board. It was the deadliest aviation incident involving a Boeing 767 at the time, and the deadliest aviation incident in Thailand's history. And even though it was such a long time ago, my thoughts and my prayers go out to the families, friends, anyone that was affected by this. It must be absolutely horrible for someone to go through that. And upon hearing of the crash, Niki Lauda travelled straight to Thailand. He examined the wreckage and attended the funeral for the 23 people that were on board that were still unidentified before travelling to Seattle to meet with Boeing representatives. The official investigation, led by Thailand's Aircraft Accident Investigation Committee, took about 8 months and was released with the probable cause stating, "The Accident Investigation Committee of the Government of Thailand determines the probable cause of this accident to be an uncommanded in-flight deployment of the left engine thrust reverser, which resulted in the loss of flight path control. This specific cause of the thrust reverser deployment has not been positively identified. The incident led Boeing to modify the thrust reverser system to prevent similar occurrences by adding sync locks, which prevent the thrust reversers from deploying when the main landing gear truck tilt angle is not at the ground position." Now, as a result of this crash, Lauda Air saw a sharp decrease in bookings, especially the Sydney to Bangkok to Vienna route, which saw a 20% decrease after the crash. Even though the crash hurt bookings overall, the airline continued to look for new ways to expand. This expansion was made possible thanks to Lufthansa acquiring 26.47% stake in the company in July of 1992, causing the phrase "partner of Lufthansa" to now be painted on the tails of all Lauda aircrafts. The extra money that they received from Lufthansa allowed for many new avenues of the air industry to be explored by the company. An Italian branch of Lauda Air was formed in 1993, named Lauda Air SPA, and operated long-haul operations to the Caribbean, Maldives and Africa. The Boeing 767s in the Lauda Air fleet would transfer to Lauda Air SPA, while new Boeing 77s would be added to the Lauda Air fleet. The regional operations saw a change in planes, as the Fokker F-27s were replaced with Bombardier CRJ-100s, and larger Boeing 737s were also added with the updated Boeing 737-700 and 737-800, replacing the classic 737s. The airline livery was also changed to focus on the colour grey. The aeroplanes had a light grey fuselage with a dark grey belly, and 2 red lines spanned the edge and base of the tail with the word Lauda written on the fuselage. And fun fact, the L in Lauda is designed to look like a tail on an aeroplane. However, with the hit and miss results to these expansions and a European market that was generally slowing across the board, Lauda Air became a wholly owned subsidiary of Austrian Airlines in December 2000, operating charter flights again within the Austrian Airlines group. And it was at this time that Niki stepped down as chief executive from the company. The operations would run smoothly for many years before Lauda Air officially merged with Austrian Airlines on July 1st, 2012, and neither the name or the livery would be used in the air industry again, as it was replaced by Austrian My Holiday. But although Lauda Air is Niki's primary endeavour into the aviation industry, it wasn't his sole involvement with planes. In 2003, Lauda created NIKI, a low-cost airline that provided full service. It ran short-haul flights and also charter routes to Greece, Tunisia and Turkey, also being based out of Austria, as of course it has to be. But in 2012, NIKI was merged with its partner Air Berlin. Lauda also had a minority stake in Amira Air, and in 2016, Lauda took over the airline, renaming it LaudaMotion, and commencing operations under the new identity in March of 2018. And after Air Berlin went bust, Lauda took over the NIKI brand assets again after unsuccessful bids from Lufthansa and IAG. Also in 2018, Ryanair actually acquired a further 24.9% stake in LaudaMotion, so they would then have a 75% majority stake in the company. And Ryanair continue to run flights under the LaudaMotion title to this day, so if you ever wanted a ride in a piece of Niki Lauda's legacy, you still can. Well, there we are. I hope you have enjoyed my video of what I hope to be a comprehensive history of Niki Lauda's ventures into the aviation industry, particularly with Lauda Air, but also with some other companies. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a cheeky little like down below. I really appreciate it. And let me know down in the comments if there's a topic that you'd like me to cover in future, the history of something to do with F1, something to do with motor racing, let me know. And be sure to subscribe to the channel because I make motorsport content every Tuesday night and every Friday night, so why would you not subscribe? So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you meerkats later. Goodbye guys!